Right, it's a continuing conversation on events unfolding in the Labour Party. Let me bring in Frank Tietie, a RISE analyst and lawyer. Maybe good to have you on Newsnight. Is there a sense in terms of legality or otherwise, while this NWC is sitting, another 29-member committee, national, another committee, caretaker committee is set up, this time fully backed by somebody you might want to describe as the star of the Labour Party, Peter Obi, and of course Ahmed Dati, and what have you. Let's look at it from that angle first.
Well, the Labour Party is a crisis, an indication that the beautiful ones are not yet born in Nigerian politics.
Ama Ataidu?
Ayikweama.
Ayikweama,
the Ghanaian.
Yes.
The beautiful ones are not yet born. And it's painful because the Labour Party ought to have been a quintessential party with the idealistic personality of Peter Obi. But it turned out that it is not better than the other parties. And it has also shown that its own crisis is something that could have been avoided if simple rules and regulation, party constitution, the INEC, the Electoral Act, and then INEC regulations are simply followed. But we see a situation where the Abure-led NEC is not recognized by INEC, and we see the party that at this time does not have a legally recognized leadership.
Yeah, but the Abure side would argue with you that it's not that INEC does not recognize the NWC as led by Abure, but simply that INEC did not attend that match.
No, clearly Section 82 of the Electoral Act prescribes that INEC must attend, monitor every meeting or a congress of a political party for the purpose of either nominating candidates or electing its own officials. So, and it's to that extent, if INEC did not attend or did not monitor, it renders it invalid. That is the point upon which INEC stands. So the matter of fact is that if INEC does not recognize a faction of a party whose tenure was said to have expired after a period of 4 years, and that's a big crisis. So I see Peter Obi and Governor Oti responding in such a responsible manner to save the party. Well, Peter Obi as an economist,
they said that much that
Peter Obi
save the soul of the party.
Peter Obi must advise himself as an economist whether he should apply the law of diminishing return in this case, whether the Labour Party situation can actually be rescued.
Has it outlived its usefulness?
Oh, well, he should not take for granted when actions by the likes of Kenneth Okonkwo have seen that it's a hopeless situation and they have actually left the party. That's an indication that the Labour Party's crisis is to a large extent very fundamental and maybe beyond redemption. So if Peter Obi, who is rightfully, taking responsibility by acting, because it will be very sad and not too good that the Labour Party is simply a platform for running for the presidential election, but also taking responsibility. After all, Governor Oti also has a responsibility to indicate that he has a political party backing him. Because how would it look like if Governor Oti had the effect or the camps to another political party? He may have a legal ground to do that now because there's an obvious crisis in the Labour Party.
So now let's talk about the fortunes of the Labour Party going forward. With Peter Obi, Alex Oti stepping in, is there a chance that the party might have a chance of surviving? How much more, talk about the elections that are, down the line? You want to talk about
I think whether we like it or not, I've maintained that Peter Obi didn't quite make the best of decision when he left the PDP. It didn't matter. Yes, it didn't matter whether we had a very massive movement called Obedient at that time that ran a very acerbic campaign, and that almost created a third force in a supposed permanent two-party two-party system that we have had.
Could he have achieved that third force within the PDP?
Well, that is something that no, it's something that
benefit of hindsight.
No, not necessarily, because it's something that he could have been able to answer, realizing that with the dynamics of the national politics, very different from the kind of politics we have in state. So you can have a multi-party structure at the state levels, competing for governorship, councillorship, and other kind of elections. But at the national level, because of the complex diversity we operate in this country, for time immemorial, from before and after independence, we've always had this polarized two-party system, except you want to have regional parties. So, you can have multi-party to have regional blocks and have regional strength. But when it comes to national politics, there has to be that kind of alliance that is, that is two-party in nature. So,
so you expect maybe a Labour Party should be subsumed within the PDP?
You asked the question whether the Labour Party can actually, bounce back from this crisis it's facing. I very much doubt. But I will commend Peter Obi because he's acted very responsibly together with Governor Oti. And then now they've got someone whose credentials are impeccable, talking about Nenadi Usman. It shows that they really mean well for the party. But what Peter Obi has
would be job one for Nenadi Usman?
Well, it will be reconciliation. And again, persuasion matters at this time. Julius Abure must understand that his time is up, and that the troubles, the crisis that he has brought to the Labour Party have passed the redemption level. So I hope she does that, because it's very painful when you see a candidate of the Labour Party working so hard, talking about Olumide Akwata having very bright chances to become the governor in Edo State, and then the National Party is having all of these crises. We are not seeing even Julius Abori, who is from Edo State, mustering enough support for Olumide Akwata. It's very bad. However, Olumide Akwata could also have used this position to unite these factions at this time, realizing that there is a very strong possibility that beyond Abia, Edo could just be one more in the Labour Party kitty. But nevertheless, the fortunes of Labour Party in national politics have been seriously dimmed and dwindled by this crisis. And Peter Obi must begin to search somewhere and not waste his time and energy. Rebuilding a party that may not give him the fortunes as he expects in 2027.
Frank Tietie is a good place to live it. Thank you very much, as always.